last week, I got a mailer. I live here in the Richmond District. I'm a registered voter. And I got this piece from his campaign saying that he registered 100,000 voters. And that to me, like, is a very high number. As I said, I have worked with non-profit organizations here and across the country. I have never seen an organization with this type of budget say achieving that type of voter registration level. And also for the executive director to receiving more than 50% of a group's expenditure. It's unheard of. There's no credible voter registration group any place in the United States where the executive director receives more than 50% of the group's budget. Okay. Because typically the money is spent on paid canvassers, you know, buying desk cards, materials, food for volunteers, printed materials, educational materials, and the like. I mean, you have to go on his website. What does the website say in 2012 in terms of their voter registration and voter education activities? There's very little on his website. And that's why we're very bothered. I mean, I'm a voter, I get this information, I know better, and the numbers just don't add up.
阿黃教授，我想問下你建立嘅嗰個委員會係幾時搬過嚟呢度咧？搬咗幾耐？
從來未搬過嚟呢度，一直由開始70年代初期，一直都係喺同仁坊，喺都賓街。
咁點解而家會？
因為而家佢控制嗰個職機構啊嘛，而家佢控制嗰個機構。即係
自從David 做咗主任之後就
成個組織嘅嗰個性質變咗，佢嘅工作範圍變咗，同埋以前我從來個個都係義工嚟嘅，忽然間我到2-3個星期前先發現第一次原來佢係受薪嘅，呢個咧係一個免稅民間嘅機構啊，唔係攞嚟籌款為到自己嘅利益嘅。
Do you think it's a good timing to raise the question like 2 weeks before the election day because people get risk that it might be a political?
Well, we only found out about the Chronicle publication. Okay. Only Chronicle published it about 3 weeks ago. That we found out.
Well, I mean, you know, he's sending me materials. I'm not asking David Lee to send me election materials, okay? So if he sends me election materials, I have an obligation to read it and to find out what is going on because as I say, you know, I did not start CAVEC. I was one of Ling-chi's volunteers, so I know, you know, we know how operations work, and it just, you know, it's one thing. It's okay for David Lee to run for supervisor, okay? But he should not take credit for things that he may not have done, or he cannot prove that he has done. It's okay to talk about his political plans. If he wants to criticize Eric Marr, that's fine, but if he's making, you know, it raises too many questions.
Have you contacted David Lee before the conference today?
No.
What, are you expecting any response or explanation from him?
No, because, I mean, it's all in the public records, what he's earning. I mean, if you go on his website, he says, I looked at his website, he said, oh, these figures that I earned a 6-figure salary is not correct, so on and so forth. But if you look at the public records that we have most recent from 2010, which is a year and a half ago, we don't have the records from 2011 or 2012, it shows that he received from CAVEC over $91,000. And CAVEC spent $168,000. But also CAVEC has been receiving less money year in, year out. It's between 2002 and 2010, it was a 68% decline in revenues. I mean, that's very drastic. And typically when you have a big decline like that, you find ways to cut back. And you try to put the money with the volunteers, with the canvassers, not with the executive director.
I think it's very important for the voters to know that if he's spending $500,000, most of that money comes from downtown and out of town. Who will he be accountable to? I mean, why are these people giving up money freely to launch a very smear campaign? What kind of a representative is he going to be for the people in the district or for downtown and out of town?
So do you feel there are some unknown support from behind the campaign?
Absolutely. Most of the money came from behind the scene.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I want to make something very clear. It's okay for CAVEC to get contributions. Every nonprofit needs contributions.
Yeah.
And I used to do it every year.
And they get it from private companies, they get it from foundations. It's okay. We're not complaining about it.
Yeah.
What I think is very sad is from 2002 and 2010, CAVEC experienced a 68% decline in financial support. That's huge. Okay, it's a very large drop. With that 68% decline, we see that David's salary has become a higher percent of all expenditures for the company. So he didn't cut back, really, and that's what really bothers us. That, what is he really doing with his money? He's running a business, he's head of CAVEC, his wife is on the board of CAVEC, the office is here. What is going on? I think there needs to be an investigation.
Okay, so